Using practical examples, explain the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise. Justify the use of aerobic and anaerobic exercise for a 1500-meter runner. So this is a 6-mark question, and as with all 6-mark questions, we get 2 marks for AO1, which is our points or knowledge that we're showing. 2 marks for AO2, which are examples or evidence or explanation, and 2 marks for AO3, which is our evaluation and analysis. So we can see this question's got 2 parts, and the first line, using practical examples, explain the difference between aerobic and anaerobic exercise. That's going to consist of our AO1 and our AO2. And then when we justify the use of aerobic and anaerobic for a 1500-meter runner, that's going to be our AO3. There's no rules on how we need to format our answer, but for this question, it may be easy to do 2 paragraphs. So 1 paragraph on aerobic exercise and 1 on anaerobic exercise. So for our AO1 on aerobic exercise, we can say this is when oxygen is required in order to produce energy. For AO2, we can give an example, and we can say that an example of aerobic exercise is a marathon runner who needs to supply oxygen to their muscles in order to produce energy throughout the whole duration of a race. So we're explaining when and why aerobic exercise is important. For AO3, we need to think about justifying the use of aerobic exercise for a 1500-meter runner. So aerobic exercise is used during a 1500-meter race during the middle part of the race, whereby the athlete will be using oxygen to produce energy in order to consistently run at the required pace without tiring quickly. And the reason we put the middle part of the race here in particular is that at the start of a race, athletes often go off quite quick to get into a good position, and then they also have a sprint finish at the end. For our next paragraph on anaerobic exercise, our AO1 point can simply be that anaerobic exercise is when no oxygen is required in order to produce energy. For AO2, we can explain anaerobic exercise and give an example. So, an example of anaerobic exercise is a weightlifter who produces a powerful contraction without the time or need to use oxygen to contribute to energy production. So, there's no oxygen present because of this short, powerful movement. For AO3, we need to again discuss the 1500-meter runner. Anaerobic exercise is used during a 1500-meter race in the latter stages of the race, and particularly the last 100 meters. This is because the performer will use a sprint finish involving powerful contractions whereby energy will be produced without oxygen. This will ensure that the performer maximizes their chance of performing to their best ability and may give them a better chance of winning the race. So we've directly discussed here how we understand that aerobic exercise is most important for 1500 meters, but we're using our knowledge of sport to show that we can understand where anaerobic exercise is used during that race.